And then in New England, Josh McDaniels did what I kind of thought he would do anyway. He was going to spread them out. He was going to go up-tempo, no huddle. And for whatever reason now, Tom Brady 5-0 against the Pittsburgh Steelers in Gillette Stadium, and his numbers are off the charts.
Stupid.
I mean, they're ridiculous.
He looked fantastic.
And he looked so much better than he did the week before.
Yeah, that opening drive, you just knew in the opening drive. I mean, other than the third and
Malcolm Mitchell dropped the ball.
Right. I mean the pass is right there.
Everything was right on the money. Yes, he was on the money, and it's kind of interesting. I do a.
It's annoying almost.
Well, I know for most people around here, I'm sure it is. But here's the thing about New England that is amazing. Next year, they will have, I think, the third or fourth most amount of money to spend in free agency if they want to spend it. They got to sign a couple of their extra, they have to sign a couple of their players, of course. Number two, they did not lose either one of their coordinators to any of these job openings. Kyle Shanahan will be leaving Atlanta, going to San Francisco. So too bad for Matt Ryan. He finally has an offensive coordinator that knows him and knows him really well. And it's not just designing the plays, it's calling the plays when you call them and how you call them. And obviously he and Matt Ryan are in sync. So now Matt Ryan will lose his offensive coordinator in the offseason. And then on top of all of that, Brady wants to come back and play for 5 more years.
Right, which means we're all screwed.
Right? I mean, it's just, think about this. Last year it was Chandler Jones and Jamie Collins were on that defense, both run out of there. And now this defense is as good, if not better, than it was at any point in time last year. They held, as Bill Belichick said after the game, Pittsburgh essentially to 9 points for 50 minutes. That's pretty damn good against that offense. And then, then you had the awkwardness between Bob Kraft and Jim Nantz. And, that's where the 800-pound gorilla in the room sitting there.
And it's coming.
And, we all know it's coming.
Right. I mean, and that's, the results of Deflategate and all the other nonsense.
Well, and the heat that Robert Kraft took from his own fan base for not fighting.
Well, at first he wrote the $1 million check, gave up the draft pick and said, I got no problem, we're guilty.
Yeah. Right.
And then, of course, things turned on him when Brady got suspended, and then he was like, I thought we had a deal, basically. So you're right. It'll be very interesting because he goes from, by all accounts, the owner's best friend and biggest advocate, the commissioners, to obviously what took place. But, it's too bad we have to hear about Deflategate and all that crap again. I'll tell you why. Because as much as a Jet fan, it pains me to see those guys. They were just money good, as was Atlanta. Like, whatever they wanted to do, they did, right?
That's right.
I was actually surprised they didn't go for it on 4th and 1 in the very first drive of the game.
Both defensive coordinators just had no answers for the opposing offense, and for different reasons. But if you can't get any sort of pressure on the opposing quarterback, you're going to let these guys just stand back there and just kind of rip away, there's no, against secondaries that are either young or beat up, you're going to get what we saw yesterday.